It's time for a little fun, a few laughs, and a whole lot of truth. The John James Show is on Legacy 1160 WSKW.
Hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? Good morning. Welcome to the show. I'm your lovable, squeezable, fuzzy host, Johnny M. James. Ooh. And it's good to have you here. It really is. Happy you're beside us. And we're in your ear or maybe on your screen. 207-441-6969, the text line. You want to do the voice thing, we'd love to do that as well. 207-441-6969. Tomorrow morning, we will have Dr. John Garofalo, recently retired PCP and ER doc, on the show. If you have any questions you would like to get in right now, go ahead and private message me, text me, whatever you'd like, and we'll make sure to ask him tomorrow. We answered a bunch last week. We have a few lined up already this week, but we certainly have time for more, and I will make special attention. I'll take special attention to the time, and if we have a bunch, we'll try to get them all in, and we will cut down a little bit on the happy talk, as we like to call it. So go ahead and get them in, and we've, good morning, Derica. If you would like to, I think we're going, right? We're up and running. Okay. I had to make sure. So go ahead and get the questions in, and you can call us or text us anytime. Doesn't matter when we're on the air, obviously would be desirable. 207-621-9759, 207-621-9759. That is the number that will do the voice thing, if you so desired. I prefer that, but I realize some people don't want to have their voices or likenesses on the radio. They're a little shy, perhaps. That's okay. So that's why I'm glad we have the text and the social media and YouTube we can talk on, but the phone is always good. I love talking with people. Voice to voice, mano y mano, mano y womano, or mano y transo. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm easy. Too easy sometimes. 9:14 here on Legacy 1160 WSKW. And we are going to get right into the meat, into the nuts and bolts of the show shortly. We'll just do what we do every morning. We'll take a quick pause to find out what happened on this day in history. By the way, we have a lot of great audio coming up for you this morning. We'll talk about impeachment quite a bit because it begins today, and we'll tell you when and all that coming right up. Right now, let's take a look at a little history. Here is the Associated Press.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
February 9th, 1964. Beatlemania hits prime time in the United States.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you.
The Fab Four make their first live appearance on American TV on The Ed Sullivan Show on CBS. 1950. In Wheeling, West Virginia, Senator Joe McCarthy charges the State Department is riddled with communists. McCarthy's speech sets the stage for his controversial campaign to root out communists in the U.S. government.
Traitors are not gentlemen, my good friends. They don't understand being treated like gentlemen.
1943. During World War II, Allied forces defeat the Japanese in the months-long Battle of Guadalcanal in the Southwest Pacific. 1984. The Soviet Union's leader, Yuri Andropov, dies in Moscow at the age of 69. Andropov spent less than 15 months in power after succeeding Leonid Brezhnev in the Kremlin. And 1944. Alice Walker, author of The Color Purple and other novels about African-American culture, is born in Georgia. Today in history, February 9th. Tim McGuire, The Associated Press.
Well, it looks like we're underway, huh? Oh, welcome to Freedom's Pep Rally, where freedom rules the day and rules the radio. We need you. Like to have you share. Like to have you spread the word, spread the truth. That's all we deal in here, by the way, is truth. We don't deal in hyperbole. We don't deal in fantasies. We deal in reality. Because we know we're human beings. We know there is no utopia. We know there is no single, one and done save the earth. This is all a mantra of the left, and it's all not only very divisive, but it is also it's also very much a lie. And I guess that's why it is so divisive, because we do love the truth here, and we don't deal in fantasies well. We don't accept fantasies. We don't accept lies. We don't believe everything people tell us to believe. We don't echo everything people tell us to echo. We aren't echo chambers. And we don't follow a mob. We actually talk and we disagree on a lot of things. But we and I'm talking about conservatives here, we all do want the same thing. Now, it's such a ration of you-know-what when anybody says, well, we all want the same thing, we just have different ways of getting there. No, we don't all want the same thing. Because what the left wants, by and large, is based on lies. We don't want a false sense of hope through means that are not only untrue, but they are unattainable. And if they were attainable, they are unsustainable. And there's no better example of that than the climate change crowd. But we aren't going to get off on climate change this morning. I'm just using that as an example. Now, I want to start out this morning with a commentary on my own and Mike's generation. Our generation has literally ruined everything that came before us. The generation that got everything wrong is the generation many of us are in. I'm not talking about millennials. I'm not talking about Gen Z, Gen X, not to say that a large number of them aren't completely wrong on everything, but where did they go wrong? The buck stops here, my friend. The people of our generation who are in charge are children who think they're adults, but haven't yet taken true responsibility for anything. Not critical thinking, no decision making. Just follow whatever the mob is doing. And the mob is seldom right about anything. Now, one of the things that has affected us and countless families is our inability to broadcast games on the radio. This is just such a great case in point for where our generation has lost it. First, Coney High School didn't want us at any of their home games for broadcast purposes. Something that has been done since the first radio station began, but suddenly in 2020, it all changed. What changed? The ignorant people making the inane calls for no good reason. Either a group of people got together and said, we've got to stop this nonsense of broadcasting games, or worse, a single dictatorial person made the decision. Regardless, the mob, the school board, and others agreed. Now we can't broadcast Kennebec Riverhawks games from the ice vault in Hollowell. That's the team made up of Waterville Winslow kids. According to a post on Facebook last night by Mike Violette, Waterville and Winslow high schools have a policy that says no media is allowed at their games, whether on their campus or at the ice vault. Mike goes on to make some great points, including this one. Quote, "The frustration I feel is for the parents, families, fans, and friends of these high school athletes who have been barred from seeing their kids play and have been given the option of some lousy streaming service they have to pay for. I'm also frustrated," Mike goes on, "by the different interpretations of the rules. Some schools are fine with us doing games, and some schools aren't, which is absurd. I am literally 100 feet away from the ice surface at its closest and almost 200 feet away from the players' benches from where I call the games. We jumped on board Riverhawks hockey because advertisers led by Central Maine Motors Auto Group and Genie Roofing asked us after the parents, fans, and friends also appealed to us. All I can say now is we're going to do a deeper dive into this. And from your standpoint, we ask you to reach out to your school boards, your superintendents, and athletic directors and let them know how you feel. We want to do these games. You know how much I love to do them," Mike says. "Hopefully, more reasonable, rational heads prevail. It's like immature children are in charge. Isn't it? It seems like the goal is to show how powerful they are without thinking about the actual students or families they're affecting. They're complacent, they're self-serving, they're short-sighted. None of this makes any sense. I remember listening to Coney Gardner games on the radio when I couldn't be there. Don Brown calling the games with his mighty voice, giving the student athletes some well-deserved notoriety for a job well done, giving us an opportunity to know the stars, also our friends who are playing the games. In fact, I remember listening to a particular Coney game from the parking lot of Grant's in Augusta. Remember that? As storied basketball star Coney, Gary Toll, made a buzzer shot to win a championship game for the Rams. I was with my friend Rick. We were both Gardner students. Coney was the archenemy. But when Toll made that shot to win the game, we both yelled and screamed like schoolgirls in celebration. Thanks to our fearful leaders of today, this generation is in danger of not knowing any of these types of experiences. While shut-ins and family who travel for the winter won't be able to listen to a seasoned pro like Mike Violette call the kids' games or grandkids. And I'm sad for my generation. Somehow, somewhere, we came off the rails. Now, I'd like to turn your attention to a book. I just found this morning. I'm going to read it. It's got to be a must-read. It might go a long way to explaining some of this. The name of the book, it's by Helen Andrews. It's called Boomers: The Men and Women Who Promised Freedom and Delivered Disaster. An article about the book appears in the American Greatness website. And the article is titled, "The Baby Boomers' Dismal Legacy." In all fields touched by the people Helen Andrews profiles, tech, entertainment, economics, academia, politics, law, what they passed on to their children was worse than what they inherited. Now, if you'd like to find this book and the write-up on it by American Greatness, you'll find the link at legacy1160.com/FPR, Freedom's Pep Rally. I encourage you to at least read the article, maybe read the book, and it just might shed a little light on the insanity that is going on with the woke baby boomers out there. That's the problem. There are too many of us who are woke, which is code for sound asleep, for uncaring, for self-righteous, for all too powerful. Disgusting. I don't know as Maine is the first where we're starting to see the insidious creeping of politics into everything that goes on. But we certainly won't be the last. Taking this away from the kids and from the kids' parents and grandparents and relatives is a sin, a poorly thought out sin. And something needs to be done because this is only going to mushroom. It's not going to get better. I don't know what their end game is. Have no idea. I don't know if they know what their end game is. But they are depriving kids and the community from enjoying something we have enjoyed since the dawn of radio. And we cannot let this stand. To quote my dear friend Maxine Waters, when you see somebody from the school board, when you see somebody from the Principals Association, you get up in their face and you tell them they aren't welcome to do this anymore, anywhere. Maybe they'll listen to their constituents, maybe not. Remember, they're self-righteous and they're better than you. They know better than you. At least that's what they think. That's their perception. And we know that perception is reality. And that's what I've got to say about that. 9:28 right now. This is Legacy 1160 WSKW. I'm John James. We have to take a quick break. We will be back. We've got a lot to get to. We'll tell you all about impeachment, when it begins, when it should end, and everything in between coming up.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
Town Line Antiques wants to know, what are you shopping for today? Searching for furniture to add to your home? Town Line Antiques has beautiful pieces of furniture for every room built to last with quality materials from the past. Thinking of decorating in a classic style? You'll find enchanting home decor, artwork, glassware, and hundreds more items around every corner. Do you love collecting books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, or classic electronics? Town Line Antiques has cool, rare, and one-of-a-kind items to add to your collection that you won't find anywhere else. And if you love searching through treasures of the past, here's more great news. Town Line Antiques has expanded with extra booth space. Now there's even more quality antiques to browse every time you visit. Plus, there are a limited number of dealer spaces now available. If you'd like to learn more about selling at Town Line Antiques, just stop in. Town Line Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 5, Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassalboro Town Line.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Chance for some light snow showers early this morning. A steadier snow will rise mid to late morning and last through the afternoon. Most areas are looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. Higher amounts possible through southern New Hampshire. Highs today will be in the mid-20s. Partly to mostly sunny Wednesday through the end of the week, but staying cold with highs in the 20s.
Your pep rally for freedom is back. Powered by the Gun Shop in Augusta on Coney Circle. Now, here's John James.
All right, welcome back to Freedom's Pep Rally. Well, this is the day. This is the day the unconstitutional impeachment begins. Oh, ain't it great? They just can't get enough of Donald Trump. They just can't stop talking about him. They're trying to prolong Trump's absence from the news cycle because they are lost. They are lost without Donald Trump to dump on anymore. So this is good for them and good for the Democrats if they can get to their end game. Their end game, by the way, I don't know if you know this, you probably do. Their end game, and we're on to you. We're on to you. You aren't that bright, you know? We understand that, and we recognize it, and we see right through what you're doing. Their end game is not to necessarily convict Donald Trump of anything. Their end game, and this is just a means to it, this unconstitutional impeachment is just a means to the end. Their end game is to make it so Donald Trump can never run for office again. That's what they want. That's all they want out of this. Before, they won the last impeachment while he was actually in office, which also was a sham impeachment, but at least it was somewhat constitutional, although it was all based on lies. It was all based on lies with Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell and Jerry Nadler and here, I'll sign the articles of impeachment and give you a souvenir pen, Nancy frickin' Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. It was all a hoax. And they knew there was nothing to it. Adam Schiff knew it was nothing to it, even as MSNBC and CNN entertained him every single day so he could push this lie that he knew was a lie from the onset. But they loved it. They ate it up because I think MSNBC and CNN and maybe the other alphabet networks too are actually being paid by the Democrat National Committee to be their propaganda arm. And they stepped up to it. They had no problem stepping up to it. Chuck Todd was the ringleader of NBC and MSNBC. If Chuck Todd's doing it, then we've got to follow Chuck. I'm sure all the dorks at CNN the same way. Whatever the guy's name over there is, what is it, Jeff Zucker? Is that the guy, the CNN guy? I guess it is. I have no idea. I remember these names. I really don't care about them. I don't follow them. All I know is they're a bunch of disingenuous liars, and they are control freaks, and they want to control the narrative, and they have. They've done a pretty good job with their group, with their Kool-Aid drinking lemmings, the so-called elitists, the intellectual, the too smart, too well-educated left that just knows so much. They know more than you and I do. Well, do they? Not really. We play the long game. They're in it to win it fast. They want to win it fast. And they are literally, as we speak, right now, they are working on destroying what America is. Make no mistake about it. Now, the impeachment begins today. It starts, according to Fox News, the trial will gavel at 1. And you know what? Chief Justice John Roberts, this is the Constitution. It's just, they don't care about the Constitution. Could they be any more transparent about that? They aren't transparent about the things that they ought to be as our servants, and they're very transparent about things they do that are unconstitutional and wrong because they don't care anymore. Too much time has gone by. This is on the fast track. We have to destroy America now while we've got momentum, they're saying in their chambers. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. I mean, look at them. Look what they're doing. Chief Justice John Roberts isn't even presiding over the unconstitutional impeachment because he knows it's unconstitutional. So who's presiding over it? Who is presiding? Leftist Senator Patrick Leahy. What the hell is this? It's a circus. It's Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers Circus come to Washington. And it's taking up the halls of Congress. So Patrick Leahy, the Chamber's president pro tempore, will preside in place of Chief Justice John Roberts. The Chief Justice is constitutionally required to oversee impeachments of presidents. John Roberts chose not to because he wouldn't be presiding over the impeachment of a president, because it is, everybody with me, it is unconstitutional. But they don't care about the Constitution. How transparent can you get? They think they're fool. Oh, we will do an ends to a means. An ends to a means. Or a means to an end, rather. Doesn't matter if it goes again. Everything they push is unconstitutional. Everything they desire is unconstitutional. They don't, the Constitution is a piece of paper for the dog to do poopy on. That's what they think of the Constitution. Nancy Pelosi all but said it several years ago when she said the Constitution is antiquated. It's got to be updated. It's got to evolve. Why does it have to evolve? Why do the moral dictates of the U.S. Constitution need to evolve? Why does morality need to evolve? Why? Abortion, for example, has always been immoral. It's always been murder. But now we're an evolved society. Now women should have the choice. Well, okay, women should have the choice of whatever women want. But when it involves another human being, all bets are off, baby. Sorry, you're talking about a little child, a big-eyed child saying, Mama, 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 don't kill me, Mama. Please don't kill me, Mama. Sorry, you're in the way of my career. You're in the way of what I want to do with my life. Get out of my womb. Suck that baby out of my womb. Oh, it's okay. It's legal. What have we become? Who's driving this? You know who's driving it. It's not the conservatives. Now, I'm not saying every conservative is moral. Oh, boy. We've all got skeletons in our closets, don't we? But we know right from wrong. The left, I don't think they know right from wrong. I think they've completely lost I think there's a magnet somewhere, and it's throwing the compass. It's just going crazy. They can't see what direction they're going in. Whatever direction feels right, whatever direction makes them feel righteous, that's the direction they go in. You see, they are rudderless. But they know what they want. They know they don't want people who can self-govern. They don't want people who don't rely on the state for everything, who died and left them boss. Their very mandates are unconstitutional. Right from the bottom up. Of, by, and for the people? That's pretty clear. That's a pretty clear description of what the government of the United States is for. Of, by, and for the people. We choose, we elect, we dictate. We're your boss. No, not in the leftist mind. No. They know we've got to address climate change for the greater good. They know we've got to mask up for the greater good. They know we've got a social distance for the greater good. I'm not saying any of that is necessarily bad, but mandating it, that, what happened to of, by, and for the people? What happened to freedom? Where did it go? What stopped it all of it? The pandemic stopped freedom in its tracks? CNN, there was a woman at CNN who was doing a report, double masked. I could barely hear her. Give people in there. And she's there chastising all of the people gathered at the some event in Tampa during this. None of these people, most of them aren't wearing masks, and many of them aren't social distancing, and they aren't all from the same family. It was outside, by the way. And she said, she started a report, whoa, double mask. Yeah, we know you're double masked because we don't know what the hell you're saying. Take the mask off. You are virtue signaling. You are projecting idiocy. Just like your Woke Center 6 crews do. My son told me there was somebody on Woke Center 6 the other night, last week, doing a report from home wearing a mask. Really? Really? Well, I guess, free, do what you want. If I were a news director of a station, I'd say, are you out of your frickin' mind? That's what I would say. I find it hard to believe the anchors aren't wearing masks. So far, they haven't. Maybe they'll start. I don't know. What happened to freedom? So the impeachment trial begins today at 1. Vice President Kamala, what opportunity is going to make me change my moral compass today? Harris could have potentially presided over the trial instead of Patrick Leahy, although senators have historically presided over impeachment proceedings when the person being tried is not the sitting president. The person overseeing the trial is not expected to substantially affect the outcome. Now, today, we'll see 4 hours of debate divided between the House impeachment managers and Trump's counsel about whether the impeachment trial is constitutional. It's not. But that won't stop them. Because the people don't control the government anymore. They are a rogue government. They have gone rogue. They're doing whatever they want to do. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about what you and I think. They care about none of it. Now, all they know is they don't want Donald Trump to ever be president again or be able to run again. Now, after the debate, the Senate will vote by simple majority on whether or not the trial is constitutional, which was affirmed 55-45 in a similar vote last month with some Republicans joining in. They've got to be primaried, right? If the majority of the Senate says the trial is unconstitutional, which isn't expected, the impeachment trial would be dismissed immediately. Not expected to happen because they are rewriting the Constitution, if not on paper, in their own heads. The sides will then have until 9 a.m. tomorrow to file any motions, and 11 a.m. tomorrow to file responses to those motions before arguments on the merits of the impeachment start at noon tomorrow. The House will present its case first and will be allowed up to 16 total hours of argument over the course of 2 days. Then Trump's lawyers will present their case, also up to 16 hours over 2 days. As the trial is currently set up, 5 o'clock Friday, it will pause until 2 o'clock Sunday in observance of the Jewish Sabbath at the request of Trump attorney David Scone. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Scone withdrew that request last evening, saying, quote, I will not participate during the Sabbath, but the role I would have played will be fully covered to the satisfaction of the defense team. He said he didn't want to delay proceedings because, quote, I recognize it is important to bring a conclusion for all involved and for the country, unquote. Somebody thinking of the country. That means the Senate could hold a full session on Saturday and would instead take Sunday off. The adjustment isn't official yet, But Fox News told Scones was told that Scones' letter will likely lead the Senate to change the schedule. We'll see. That's minutia. Really, I think, in the whole scheme of things. But interesting to know. So if you want to sit in front of the TV and watch the circus begin, 1 o'clock is when it begins. And it'll give American Pravda something to talk about for the next several days. Then who knows what they'll do. They've been so busy fawning over Joe Biden and what a wonderful job senile Joe Biden is doing. It's very sad, actually. Sickening. I mean, are they actually? Do they actually think they are going to garner viewers by fawning over Joe Biden and the deplorable, the self-righteous, the smug, the opportunistic Kamala Harris for 4 years? Do they? Do they really think that's going to happen? All their followers will follow. They have nothing else. They have nothing but time on their hands. Time on their hands and a phone in their hands. They can just echo whatever they're told to echo on social media, and the world will be right. Everything will be good for the leftists. No, they're not patriots. Yeah, I'm judging. I am judging. I don't like to judge people. But if they were patriots, they'd be thinking about the Constitution. They'd be thinking about America. They'd be thinking about the ramifications of this phony witch hunt. Another witch hunt against their favorite witch, Donald Trump. Or I guess it would be a warlock, right? Is that? I'm not sure how the pecking order and descriptions in the Wiccan religion go. I apologize. It's 9:48 here on Legacy 1160 WSKW. A lot more to get to in regards to impeachment. We have some great audio for you today. You want to know what we're up against? You want to know what exactly America is headed toward? I mean, we all see it. We've talked about it ad nauseum on this show. We won't stop talking about it because you've got to be ready. You've got to know. You've got to stand up and fight too. I'm afraid. It's coming to this. It is coming to this. We're all going to have to stand up and let our voices be heard. We've been silent too long, but no more, my friend. No more can we be silent. I am so happy we have so many people who are on this show, who are commenting every day, who are sharing every day, who are posting on their own pages every day the truth, the reality of what America is facing right now. And it's a pretty grim outlook if we continue in the direction that we are headed in. You give them 4 years, we're done. We are done. I mean, our last best hope at this point is 2022. And while they celebrate and all their lemmings, Kool-Aid drinking followers celebrate and cheer and, yeah, Trump's gone. Joe Biden is the man. Joe Biden is an empty shell of a man. He's being driven by the far left. He is not a moderate. He's a moderate in name only. He's a mino. Joe Biden is a mino. There you go. There's a new word for you. We've got 9:50 right now. Be back with more. Stick around. I'm John James.
1160 WSKW.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
Electrical repair should never be done without the knowledge of how to do it safely. Better yet, skip that stress and let Kennebec Electric and Lighting take care of it for you. Kennebec Electric has offered professional electric and lighting service and expert installation in homes and businesses for over 37 years, and they stand behind that experience with a guarantee on all their work. Kennebec Electric and Lighting. Contact them for all your electric and lighting servicing, including installations and repairs at 861-7028 or online at KennebecElectric.com.
With salt and sand from the road getting everywhere, Linux of Augusta has what you need to protect the inside of your vehicle. Stop in today and see the selection of WeatherTech mats, trunk liners, and accessories available for nearly any vehicle to protect those high-use areas. Or maybe you're thinking of installing a fiberglass truck cap. With Lear fiberglass truck caps, they offer a range of sizes that will boost both the value and the usefulness of your truck in all seasons. Call Linux of Augusta today at 582-0282 or stop by at 509 Main Avenue in Farmingdale.
Town Line Antiques wants to know, what are you shopping for today? Searching for furniture to add to your home? Town Line Antiques has beautiful pieces of furniture for every room, built to last with quality materials from the past. Thinking of decorating in a classic style? You'll find enchanting home decor, artwork, glassware, and hundreds more items around every corner. Do you love collecting books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, or classic electronics? Town Line Antiques has cool, rare, and one-of-a-kind items to add to your collection that you won't find anywhere else. And if you love searching through treasures of the past, here's more great news. Town Line Antiques has expanded with extra booth space. Now there are even more quality antiques to browse every time you visit. Plus, there are a limited number of dealer spaces now available. If you'd like to learn more about selling at Town Line Antiques, just stop in. Town Line Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 5. Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassalboro Town Line.
9:53, and we're back here. Legacy 1160 WSKW Freedom's Pep Rally. Welcome in. 207-621-9759 voice line. 207-621-9759. Text line 207-441-6969. Got my radio listeners out there listening. Tell me how I did some more adjustments to the on-air feed. So if somebody listening on the radio just wants to let me know if it's sounding okay, if it should be a little bit louder. So that is my hope anyway. So please let me know. Douche Springsteen, somebody texted in. Yeah, Mike was talking about Bruce Springsteen in that Super Bowl ad the other night. Was he driving a Jeep through the Willy Wax? Sure, he does that quite a bit. I don't know. Maybe he does. That'd be my kind of life. I'd spend all day, every day doing stuff like that if I could. I'd be up my happy place up in Millinocket. I wore my. I usually don't wear T-shirts in, but I pulled this out of my dresser last night. One of my Millinocket shirts. That's my favorite area in the world. By the way, the Highlands Tavern is open again. They're serving food from. If you're a Millinocket fan, Highlands Tavern is in the same place as the Pomola Inn, which is a great place to stay. And underneath this is a great setup. You've got the Pomola Inn connected to the Hang Wong restaurant, which is excellent Chinese food. And then you've got the Highlands Tavern down below. And they serve Hang Wong food there. So it really is a one-stop shop for anybody who just wants to go and relax for a little while. 9:55, my buddy Chris Carr, I finally talked with him the other day, and they've been busy. I guess they've got some snow now finally in the region that is making snowmobiling worthwhile. I don't know how much they've got. We're getting more right now, as a matter of fact, in this area, so presumably they get quite a bit more. Typically, when we get a little down here, they get quite a bit more there. 9:55 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. Online, legacy1160.com. And if you want to check out the stories we talk about, just go to legacy1160.com/FPR, Freedom's Pep Rally. You can also watch the video live there. Go to legacy1160.com. There's a video link on the homepage, or just /video. And you can listen live 24/7. And that is brought to you by the Harry J. Smith Company on Sanger Avenue in Waterville. All video platforms are sponsored by Moody's Collision Centers with locations throughout Maine. I found there was one commercial during the Super Bowl I thought it was hilarious. And I know it had to be funny because the left thought it was horrible. I thought it was absolutely great. I thought, wow, this is the kind of a commercial that is really going to increase business for this company. In this particular case, it is an auto insurance company. And anything the left hates usually is good for business. We've seen it happen over and over again. They will cancel somebody they don't agree with, and profits will go through the roof. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? So a Super Bowl ad from Cure, C-U-R-E, like Cure, I got a Cure, Cure Auto Insurance, which played right before halftime, is getting criticism for belittling the seriousness of workplace harassment. These people cannot joke about anything. The funniest, they are humorless. They are humorless. They have no funny, the things they think are funny are stupid things. The really funny stuff based on current events, there's nothing funnier than what people are talking about right now, spun in such a way as to make you laugh. Now, workplace harassment, of course, is not a good thing. Yeah, we know it's not a good thing. But making fun of it isn't going to make it better. It's not going to make it worse. But you can laugh at it if you're, I don't know, if you've got just a modicum of humor in your body, but not the left. Now, this ad actually takes place within an office. There is a lady seated behind a desk. There are two employees there. There's one female and one male. And that's where it starts. And there's another guy in the office that the woman speaks with. Now, here is the audio from the ad. And it's obviously just a play on words, and it's hilarious. Here it is.
Miss Davis, Tommy just brought me into his office and whipped out his opinion. Tommy?
I didn't just whip it out. She was into it. Plus, I have a pretty big opinion.
Oh, please, it's not that big.
She only gave me a second.
Tommy, not everyone in this office wants your opinion.
Okay, well, how about you last week at happy hour when you begged me for my opinion?
I had a picture of margaritas. I would have taken Doug's opinion.
You would?
No.
We can't protect your opinion, but we can protect your car. Cure Auto Insurance.
Miss Davis.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I suddenly may look into Cure Auto Insurance. The responses were predictable, and they were many. Here are a few. I'm going to read you a few. So that Cure Auto Insurance commercial just making a whole casual joke about workplace harassment is pretty awful. Another one, mocking sexual harassment in the workplace is not a good look. Just my opinion, not impressed, Cure Auto Insurance. Another one, wow, okay. Cure Auto Insurance with a fail ad of the decade. What's happening? Well, you're not happening because that ad is going to sell a lot of auto insurance for Cure. It was hysterical. It was great. It was my favorite ad. I didn't see all the ads, I'll be honest with you, but that was my favorite ad. Cure, C-U-R-E. You want to check into them? They are not politically correct. And I love it. I will go out of my way to patronize any business that is not politically correct because political correctness is ruining us. Ruining us. It's making people afraid to say what they feel. I will not ever be politically correct. Sorry. If you're looking for political correctness, you better find another radio show because this ain't it. This is a warning. 207-441-6969 is our text line. Voice line 207-621-9759. I'll try to watch the phones, keep an eyeball on them. So go ahead if you want to try to get through and And well, like I said, I prefer talking on the phone, but we aren't a call-centered show, so I don't always look out for the phones, although I welcome any calls that people want to make. And I will take them. I don't care what side you're on, but the left who disagrees with everything I say is too afraid to call up and make a fool of themselves, so they don't. They stay away, and I get that. That's fine. That's fine. You just go ahead and make a fool of yourself on social media. That's fine, because then you can just run and block and comment and leave and all that happy horse crap. Notice how I'm editing myself pretty well, huh? It's just after 10 o'clock, and we'll be back after the news. I'm John James.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Andrew Dimbert. The second impeachment trial of former President Trump starts in the Senate, with House impeachment managers trying to convince the Senate the president incited the insurrection with his comments before the Capitol riot. Donald Trump's legal team will argue that the rioters stormed Capitol Hill their own, not because Trump told them to.
The defense will also claim that because Trump is no longer in office, the trial is unconstitutional, calling it political theater, saying the case should be immediately dismissed. 45 out of 50 Republicans in the Senate have already signaled they agree with that argument. But Congressman Adam Kinzinger, one of the handful of House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump, is urging members of his own party to take a stand and vote to convict, calling it a matter of accountability. And writing in a Washington Post op-ed, the future of our party and our country depends on confronting what happened so it doesn't happen again.
ABC congressional correspondent Rachel Scott. This is ABC News. The NTSB today is expected to detail the cause of last year's chopper crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others. Myanmar's military government unleashing water cannons again on protesters upset over the coup. Curfews and restrictions on large crowds also being put into effect. Her voice helped define what it meant to be Motown. And now we are saying goodbye to one of the co-founders of the Supremes.
The world is stopping to remember Motown great Mary Wilson. A publicist says she died suddenly, and it comes just days after the Motown group with lead singer Diana Ross marked its 60th anniversary. In 2014, Wilson looked back.
We came from a time when, as Black people, you didn't dream about becoming a star. You didn't dream about making money. It was all about being a human being.
Mary Wilson was 76 years old. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Patients taking Ibrance can develop low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infections that can lead to death. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs that can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to become pregnant. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
And now, the show that highlights America's most intelligent people.
Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's wife, because she, he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
Freedom's Pep Rally with John James.
Yeah, Jill Biden's a hell of a doctor. Yeah, Jill Biden's a great doctor.
10:05 here on Legacy 1160. WSKW, your old buddy John James. I've got to tell you, when I heard "Stop in the Name of Love" come up during the news, I froze. And you know what I was thinking, because the only time they ever play a song during a newscast is when somebody passes. And you thought what I thought, I bet. Diana Ross died. No, Mary Wilson. That was more shocking to me because I thought Mary Wilson died years ago. I'm not kidding you about that. So now she's gone. Now she's really gone. What have I been thinking? 10:06 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. I can't wait until the defense gets to make their case. There are going to be no witnesses. I had people talking about that on the feed here. No witnesses in the trial, the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. But there will be video. I'm sure there'll be video of January 6th, because January 6th is all that matters. None of the lives lost, the shootings, the police assaults, none of that, man. Nobody talks about that. None of it. And it's still going on in places like Portland and Seattle. Still a lot of unrest going on there. Nobody talks about that. January 6th is the only date that matters because it involved the only people who matter to them. The self-important congresspeople and senators. How self-important? AOC did a 90-minute video whining and crying and lying about her near-death experience. So when the defense gets to make its case, there is going to be plenty of video. Donald Trump's lawyer said that his eyes are red from watching all the video that they will present, including but not limited to Maxine Waters saying, get up in their faces, get a crowd, get up in their faces, you push at them. You push back at them and tell them they aren't welcome anywhere anymore. Maxine Waters was on MSNBC with Ali Velshi saying she never encouraged violence against Republicans. Then, interestingly, her pants caught on fire. So that may be telling right there. I don't know. $10:09. Oh, there's this. You can't make these things up. I mean, if you've been following the news, if you've been following this show, you know what's going on. You're pretty up to date on what's happening. You know the whole thing with voting machines, Dominion. By the way, I want to let you know, if you go to either AWWBA.com, that's American Women Who Bear Arms, AWWBA.com, ABBA.com, or Legacy1160.com. And after the web address, you put a /FPR, Freedom's Pep Rally. That will take you to a news page, which is updated daily. One of the items not far down on that news page is a video about election fraud. It's only 15 or 16 minutes long. Wow. And it's not going to go away. It was on YouTube. I downloaded it. I downloaded it to my computer and I put it up on my personal Vimeo channel, which I pay for. So that baby's not going anywhere. So when you get a chance, before it gets down too far on the list, find it, look at it, and you probably will be bug-eyed when you see some of the things going on. There is video of the woman that was bragging about being there after hours, after all the Republicans had been sent home, who was showing all of the absentee ballots, all of the mail-in ballots. And then there is video, close-up video, showing her feeding ballots into a machine over and over again, the same stack of ballots. And they will show you the spikes and the times they happened, where Joe Biden went from being down 100,000+ votes And boom, all of a sudden overnight, the spike that put him ahead. Check it out. I'm telling you, check it out. This video, the Mike Lindell video, 2-hour video, I didn't even bother watching all of that. I like Mike Lindell, I do, but no, this video tells you, this will show you all you need to know in 15 or 16 minutes, and it's very well produced. So look at it. Use your own mind. Use your own critical thinking. We encourage that. Maybe you'll say, that doesn't prove anything. Fine. But watch it. Watch it. Won't take you long. Again, it's legacy1160.com/FPR or awwb.com/FPR, Freedom's Pep Rally, and you'll get all the information on the website. You'll get all the stories, plus you'll get a link to that video. 10:12 right now. So voter fraud. The left is literally a treasure trove of jokes that write themselves. Did you know that a judge in New York just had to rule on a claim by Democrats that voting machine irregularities threw the election to a Republican? Yeah, they went to court. They went to court over voting machine irregularities. And the judge heard it. The judge heard the case. And he ruled in the Republicans' favor. A judge in New York Friday rejected Democrats' claims that voting machine irregularities undercounted hundreds of voters for Representative Ted Brindisi, a decision that means Republican challenger Claudia Tenney is going to be certified the winner of the election. Lawyers for Brindisi had called for a hand recount of the 325,000 plus votes cast in the House race, arguing that irregularities with voting machines used in Oswego County had undercounted hundreds or thousands for Brindisi. Huh. Isn't that odd? Shoes on the other foot. Nothing wrong with the machines. Oh, there's something wrong with the machines. I guess it depends on who gets the most votes, huh? One of the things they're going to be talking about at the impeachment hearing today, the only thing they're going to be talking about during the impeachment debate starting at 1 o'clock, is how evil Trump is and how violent he is, how the violence he incited. What if I told you Kamala Harris once incited violence on the Ellen Show? It's true. She insinuated she'd kill Donald Trump, Jeff Sessions, and Mike Pence. Well, that's going some to say that. Well, it's also going some for them to say Donald Trump incited a riot on the Capitol when this had been planned well in advance. Hold the people who did it accountable, not the president. Or former president, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's unconstitutional. Former president. So listen to the exchange with Ellen here. Kamala Harris. And get ready for that god-awful Kamala cackle because she thinks she has just made the funniest joke ever.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Stop. I swear to you, it's not hypnotic, is it? Not conducive to taking a nap, is it? She laughs at everything. When she's uncomfortable, when she thinks she's made a joke, everything. Imagine her living in your house. You'd never get rest. It's as bad as Hillary's. And Hillary's is bad. Hillary's is very, Hillary's was very phony. And I think Kamala's is too, to an extent. Anyway, enough of the cackle commentary. There'll be plenty of that over the next 4 years, trust me. So, in Tampa, the Democrat mayor there, Alan, you know this, I'm sure. Let me say, try not to miss out on the comments here people are sending. 207-621-9759, the voice line. I normally watch news there. Oh, okay, they're talking about something they heard on the national news. Okay, so a Democratic mayor of Tampa, her name is Jane Castor. She said that maskless fans at the Super Bowl, I don't think she's talking about the cardboard ones. I mean, this cardboard fans. Now you got, and I guess you could buy a cardboard fan. You could put yourself in the stands there as a cardboard fan. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. Well, we used to have, my brother and I used to have cardboard fans when we played that hideous electric football. You remember where the stupid thing would vibrate and the football players would they'd just be all over the place. It looked like ants just crawling all over the gridiron. It was so stupid. But we would have our cardboard fans. And I always used to think, boy, that's funny, cardboard fans. That's not real. That's not even realistic. So now they've got cardboard fans at NFL games. It just makes me laugh. So anyway, this mayor, Jane Castor, says that maskless fans at the Super Bowl will be identified by law enforcement and police will handle it. Interestingly, she sounds an awful lot like that horrible Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot. If you know what Lori Lightfoot sounds like, you will see the similarity in the vocal qualities. They've got that same vocal fry. So here is Jane Castor in Tampa.
Everyone knows that simply wearing a mask dramatically reduces the spread of COVID-19. And I'm proud to say that the majority of individuals that I saw out and about enjoying the festivities associated with the Super Bowl were complying. But those few bad actors will be identified, and the Tampa Police Department will handle it.
Oh, the police will handle it. You will be identified. You must comply or we'll have you arrested. Did that not sound like Lori Lightfoot? If I'd have told you that was Lori Lightfoot, you would have said, yeah, okay. Unbelievable. I don't think I've got any Lori Lightfoot audio here to juxtapose it with, but I would. Because the similarities in the vocal tone and the ideologies, too. Maybe that's just a characteristic of leftist female mayors. I don't know. Yeah. Alan from Florida here. People played for their cardboard cutout to take your seat. If you were a ticket holder, you could get a cardboard cutout. Most of them haven't been able to go to a game. Yeah, okay. Nothing will happen to them. She's a liar. Sounded like a man to me. And Lori Lightfoot does. I mean, Lori Lightfoot. Well, let me see if I want to see. I haven't listened to them together at all. I want to play them both together here. And this is just, well, I'm really an audio guy. So you got to bear with me here. And I want you to hear this and see if I'm not right. In fact, they may have the same voice box. Maybe the mayor of Tampa got a Lori Lightfoot voice box. She donated, Lori Lightfoot donated part of her voice box. And that's why she and the mayor sound so hoarse, because they only have half a voice box. Because they shared it. Wait a minute. Do you have Lori Lightfoot? All right, here, this is supposedly a little bit of Lori Lightfoot's voice, and then we'll listen to the mayor of Tampa.
We've had a series of reports.
Oh, no, not Gayle King. Please, not Gayle King.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she is calling for immediate change after watching these tapes of Anjanette Young.
Oh, come on. No, Lori Lightfoot.
That's when I met a then 9 video, but they do say they're still.
I didn't think there would ever come a day when I'd say, will you just be quiet and let Lori Lightfoot speak? But I think I just did. All right, so I've got audio here someplace, but I'm not even going to worry about it. Just trust me, their voices sound exactly alike, and I'm just spending far too much time on this. Something else that came out of the Super Bowl, besides the crackdown on maskless individuals, Tom Brady is racist. And I know you're saying, what are you talking about? Even if you don't like Tom Brady, how is he racist? Well, if you are a lefty, you know how to reach. You know how to jump to conclusions. Tom Brady should have thrown the game. He should have given up his chance to increase his record number of Super Bowl victories, his first in the NFC, to appease the left. He should have. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Tom Brady is wrong. Listen to this. You can't make it up. Innumerable people, according to an article, took to social media to complain that NFL star Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl during Black History Month was racist. Please tell me this is only a bad dream. Tell me this isn't really happening. Tell me people aren't this stupid. Please tell me, wake me up when it's over. It'll be a nightmare. You know what? I dreamed that a white quarterback won the Super Bowl over a black quarterback during Black History Month, and so they called the white quarterback racist for winning the game. Oh, what a stupid dream that was. Yeah, you're telling me. Oh, but wait, it wasn't a dream. So Brady leads the Bucs to victory over the Chiefs. Oh, by the way, I love this. I love it when my commentary proves to be true, no matter how outlandish it is. I make some outlandish statements on this show, and they have a funny way of the left takes them and makes them come true. So nothing, trust me, nothing is outlandish anymore. So Brady leads the Bucs to a win over the Chiefs, his 7th Super Bowl win, prompting outrage. Not because there were Chiefs fans who were upset that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs didn't win, but due to the perception that Brady once supported President Trump, and the Chiefs quarterback is black. Black Lives Matter supporters scolded Brady for having the temerity to win, suggesting he was racist for doing so. Oh, I thought I made some silly, funny statements. I thought I was a pretty funny guy when I worked in Top 40 radio for the last 25 years, told good jokes, made people laugh. Nothing. I could have never made anything this funny up. Let me read you a few of the tweets here. Okay, here's one. Just thinking how Tom Brady has gotten all his rings during Black History Month. Some to think about. Seems very racist to me. Guy named Josh. Something about Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl during the Black History Month feels racist. Another guy. I feel like it's racist that Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes during Black History Month. Another one. There's something racist from Brady, a white man winning the Super Bowl every year during Black History Month. Let me go on. These Super Bowls during Black History Month. Kind of racist. Tom Brady surpassed Michael Jordan in the number of championships during Black History Month. I don't care. That's gotta be racist. Chaz says, Tom Brady beat Mahomes on Black History Month. Effing racist. Another one, Tom Brady, racist ass, stole the win from a black man during Black History Month. And another one, ain't no way Tom Brady winning 7 Super Bowls during Black History Month ain't racist. I can't, I don't know. You know, I think they're both great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. Tom Brady is clearly more experienced, has more experience. He had Gronkowski, somebody he's played with and won championships with. He had a better chance. I thought so going in, and I was right, it turns out. But, you know, I wouldn't have cared who won. Really. Either way, you know, whatever. I don't have skin in the game. Any color skin in the game. But it was worth it. Tom Brady winning just to see the heads explode. I would have never guessed in a million years that this would be the reaction to the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl. I never would have guessed. That was too outlandish for me to even predict. So Tom Brady is racist because he had the temerity to win the Super Bowl. Oh, here's one more. Never forget that Tom Brady is a Nazi sympathizer who's cool with locking kids in cages as long as they're darker than his own. How idiotic can you get? Pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. And just the mere fact that so many people are willing to align themselves with these low intelligence people. And these people vote, by the way. This is what they vote on. Stuff like this. Well, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl during Black History Month over a black quarterback. Ain't no way I'm voting for a white president. No words. There are just no words for any of this. So you remember when I was telling you the other day? Now this sounded very, very conspiratorial to me even. Most of the stuff I say that people say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. I truly believe. This I was joking about. I was literally joking about this. Remember I was telling you the other day that, the indigenous peoples would be protesting, some groups, some indigenous peoples and climate justice group would be protesting the Super Bowl over the name Chiefs, which I also think is stupid but predictable. And I wondered aloud on that day, I wondered, how long is it going to be before they come after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because pirates? Well, guess what? The woke Washington Post went there. I kid you not. Writer Jamie L.H. Goodall, who is a staff historian at the U.S. Army Center of Military History, argued in the Washington Post that while this celebration of piracy seems like innocent fun and pride in local culture, there is danger in romanticizing ruthless cutthroats who created a crisis in world trade when they captured and plundered thousands of ships on Atlantic trade routes between the Americas, Africa, and Great Britain. I know, I apologize for the show being so stupid today. It is a very stupid show so far. We've gone from unconstitutional, far-left nut jobs impeaching a former president to people calling Tom Brady racist because he won the Super Bowl to now canceling the Buccaneers because they're pirates. Goodall, Jamie L.H. Goodall, went on to say that treating pirate imagery as no big deal takes these murderous thieves who did terrible things like locking women and children in a burning church and makes them a symbol of freedom and adventure, erasing their wicked deeds from historical memory. Well, isn't that something? Erasing deeds from historical memory. You mean like tearing down statues of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and Paul Revere? You mean like that, Washington Post? Is that what you're talking about? Erasing historical memory? I remember Disney, back when it was Disney MGM Studios. In my mind, they got rid of one of the best rides that they had there. I don't know if Alanie, I don't know if you can remember this. You're in Florida. But there was a ride at former Disney MGM. It's now Hollywood Studios, I guess, but it was Disney MGM. And they had the Great Movie Ride, which is gone. That was the best. That was the coolest ride ever. Everybody, and there was a family ride. Everybody loved it. It had, the Wizard of Oz. It had all sorts of things. And it was realistic. It was really, really cool. And it celebrated, Hollywood. Some of the great movies. And one of the things was the Pirates of the Caribbean, I think, was part of it. The Great Movie Ride. And they had one of the pirates was going round and round on this balcony chasing a woman. A wench. I'm sorry, I love that word. I'm a juvenile. Chasing a wench. Arr. Well, social justice warriors came out against that. So the next time I went to the Great Movie Ride, next time I was at Disney, it was the woman chasing the pirate with a rolling pin. Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. That's it's still funny. And then they did away with the ride. And believe me, Disney is all woke too. Disney is completely woke. And I shudder to think what my next visit there will be like. Jason says BLM bunch of little minds. That's true. That's a good moniker. Let me pop that up for people to see. I can't right now. 621-9759. Hi, good morning. You're on with John. Who am I talking with? Gone on that line. Hi, good morning. How are you?
Commenting on Brady.
There we go. Okay, I'm with you here. Now I didn't have your pot turned up. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You said something about Brady.
Yeah, I'm calling. This is Mark from Winslow. I'm calling about your comments, or at least Brady being a racist.
Yeah, well, that's not me talking. What do you
understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is with Brady, if Tom Brady's a racist, have everybody think about this one. That must mean polls who beat him in that Super Bowl with the Eagles. It must be one too.
Apparently.
Wouldn't that just fit? I mean, he's white too, right?
Absolutely. Well, there you go. You bring common sense and objectivity.
I mean, there's Brady off the hook right there.
Yeah, you're right. But he won't be off the hook because he was hated before. People hated him because he's a winner. So they hated him going in. And now that he's beat a black quarterback, and Mahomes doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, he cares he didn't win the Super Bowl, but he's probably shaking his head and saying, racist? What are they even talking about?
Exactly.
It's just... how far will the idiocy go? You think you've heard it all, and then you just have to shake your head, don't you?
Oh, I do, man.
Unbelievable.
Thanks, Johnny.
Mark, you have a great day, bud.
You too, man.
Bye now.
Bye.
No, he's right. It's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. Ridiculous. Have you ever watched the show Ridiculousness? I forget who the guy that hosts it is on MTV. My wife enjoys it. I usually come up when she's watching it. And some of the stuff on there is really funny. It's ridiculous stuff. Well, any of this stuff is fodder for that show. I mean, the jokes write themselves, only it's not a joke. These people who have no sense of humor are actually very serious. And the fact that they are so serious is what makes it so funny. It's why they are so laughed at. They don't realize they are the laughingstocks. Trust me, Mahomes, Brady, they're laughing all the way to the bank. They're friends. I'm sure, I don't know if they're best friends. They respect each other. And Mahomes is probably saying, he's probably scratching his head, saying, Tom Brady's a racist for beating me during Black History Month? Maybe if Patrick Mahomes had made the request before the game, hey Tom, it is Black History Month, and I don't know if you've noticed, but you're the white guy in this matchup. You're really going to save your reputation if you just let us have a few, okay? You know what I'm saying, man? Just let us get a couple extra touchdowns. You get maybe a couple of less. We'll let you have a couple with Gronkowski because you guys like it. You're good friends, but let us have the rest. Because otherwise, the mob, the virtue signaling white people, they are going to call you racist. You don't want that, do you? No. You know why? Because Patrick Mahomes, I don't believe, is that shallow. 10:39. You got Legacy 1160 WSKW. Thank you for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. 6219759. I just happened to look over and I saw the line. We had three calls. I don't know how many we missed, but I'm glad we got that one in. What else do we have? Oh, there's another Donald Trump investigation starting. Did you know in Georgia, the Secretary of State, you remember the phone call with Brad Raffensperger where Donald Trump called him and said, you need to look into this thing. I got more votes than Joe Biden. There's proof. And he refused. And then everybody on the left started saying, well, that was impeachable grounds all of a sudden. But that was before January 6th. So AOC was going to draw up articles of impeachment for that phone call to Brad Raffensperger. I don't know if maybe she did. AOC said, and there was one of the other squad members said it too. Because of the phone call to the Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger. And, of course, that was stupid because he did nothing wrong in the call, but it's just more fodder for them to use as grounds for impeachment. But that never went anywhere because then January 6th happened and changed everything. Now he's a killer. He's a cold-blooded killer. He almost killed AOC. So did Ted Cruz. Just ask her. By the way, she's refused. She did indicate that she wants to work with senators who aren't trying to kill her. And she had retweeted Ted Cruz. And then she denied that she accused Ted Cruz of trying to kill her, and she refused to apologize when asked yesterday. Yeah, AOC, right. The one that told an hour-and-a-half lie to her followers, to her Kool-Aid swilling, what do we want to call them? Cultists? I think we'll call them cultists. AOC. How does she have a following? Well, she made me the best drink I ever had in my... All right, so there's another investigation now, and it includes Brad Raffensperger because of the phone call he made asking him to find enough votes to reverse his loss. All you've got to do is watch the video I was telling you about, and I think it'll raise questions. Again, I'm not going to say, follow me. What I say is right. I'm John James, and what I tell you, you believe me. You believe me, and just trust me on this. There was voter fraud. There's proof of voter fraud in this video. I'm not going to tell you that. You know why? Because you're a smart person. You're smarter than me, I'm sure. And you can go watch the video and decide for yourself using your own critical thinking, something Democrats don't like. Many Republicans don't like it either. They don't like critical thinking where they have to view something and come up with their own decision. No, they don't like that. So what you do is go to legacy1160.com/FPR, Freedom's Pep Rally, and just scroll down a little bit. It'll be right there. Video. There's a video. It's on my Vimeo channel. I made sure to put it there so it can't be taken down. It's there. It's there. I own the channel. It was on YouTube, but that will probably be the end of it eventually. But it's not going to die where it is now, as long as I pay the bill. But you can link to it over on the page. So on this Brad Raffensperger thing, such inquiries are fact-finding and administrative in nature, according to the Secretary's office, and are a routine step when complaints are received about electoral matters. Findings are typically brought before the Republican-controlled State Board of Elections, which decides whether to refer them for prosecution to the state attorney general or another agency. So they're looking to investigate Donald Trump for this phone call. And they'd better be careful because from what I saw in that new video, there was plenty of fraud in Georgia for Donald Trump to look at. And again, message me if you can't find the page. And I'll be more than happy to send you a link. 10:45. Okay, so impeachment. How could the 14th Amendment come into play? What does it say exactly? I can't quote it for you exactly, but lucky for you, I keep a Constitution on my telephone home screen. And I am going to find and read to you verbatim what the 14th Amendment, that's what it is, it's the amendment to the U.S. Constitution says. All right, all persons, wait a minute. Okay, I'm not sure what part of it's too long. All right, Section 2, I think. Anyway, so the 14th Amendment could allow them to get what they want, and all they want is to keep Donald Trump from running for president ever again. They do not trust an election in our hands because we might make the wrong decision and elect Donald Trump again in 2024. We cannot be trusted with that awesome responsibility because we don't know anything. They know. They are the arbiters of truth and freedom, or truth and tyranny, and they know what's good for us. So House and Senate Democrats may push ahead this week with a censure resolution, which would be a good end for them if they get what they want, because the end isn't necessarily about convicting Donald Trump of a crime, because he committed no crime. We can all see that clearly. The Democrats committed more crimes over the past 4 years, and moreover during this past 1 year, than Donald Trump ever thought of committing. He's committed no crimes. And this is just another sham impeachment deal. But their main goal is to keep him from running again. So, if they get this censure, what would happen is they would write into it a paragraph that would keep him from running again, because he's going to be acquitted most likely in this trial. The effort to draft a resolution that would invoke a provision of the 14th Amendment began quietly last month and gained momentum this past weekend as Democrat Senator Tim Kaine, that was horrible Hillary's running mate, of Virginia, and Republican Senator Susan Collins gauge whether the measure could attract bipartisan support. Yeah, Susan Collins is working on this. Do you need another reason to primary her? I think not. If you get the right candidate, it's got to be the right candidate. For an incumbent as powerful and strong as Susan Collins, it would have to be a pretty good candidate. But that's not going to happen for another 6 years. The reception has been lukewarm so far from Democrats, who would prefer to see the former president convicted in the impeachment trial, and from Republicans who feared political consequences in barring Trump from office, which is all they would do. If they can't get the impeachment trial solidified and convict Donald Trump, then they are in all likelihood going to go with this 14th Amendment provision just to get him so he can't run again. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Oh, there is a person with no shame. She first raised the idea of a dual-track process that would reserve a second constitutional pathway. And then Tim Kaine began exploring the idea on the Senate side. So if they can't get everything they want, they can get the most important thing to make sure Donald Trump never gets into the Oval Office ever again, which keeps us, his supporters, from having the freedom to vote for him, because most of us thought he did a very good job and was pro-worker and was pro-America and was pro-Black and Hispanic and was pro-legal immigration and was pro-border wall, protecting our nation from enemies, foreign and domestic. We agreed with all that. And no Green New Deal, energy independence, God bless America. And now what are we going to have? Gas prices are going up. Well, that's not because of Joe Biden, that's because of Donald Trump. Really? So you think that's going to continue happening? Is it going to continue being Donald Trump's fault? We can't drill on federal lands or frack on federal lands. We can't continue building the pipeline. Can't. 1 o'clock today, it all starts. It's 10:51. And I've got some great audio here. I want to see if I've got time to... Okay, I do. I have time. I'm going to do the Laura Ingraham piece now. Now, I don't know if you saw the Ingraham angle last night, but wow. Did she nail it? Laura Ingraham on Fox News didn't open her angle, as she calls it, which is, she's so talented. And she has such a great way of laying things out that make the future oh so very clear. And what is going on around us so very clear, and puts it in layman's terms and pulls no punches, which is what I love. And so this should take us just about up to the top of the hour. Here is Laura Ingraham from the Ingraham Angle last night on the Fox News Channel.
All right, let's face it. The Democrats and the media that serve them, they're like addicts looking for their next fix. And their drug of choice over the past 5 years has been Donald J. Trump. They just cannot quit him. And this week, they'll snort, inhale, and smoke Trump 24/7 as they try to suck you into their downward spiral. If you're conservative and you voted for Trump, they want you demoralized by the impeachment proceedings and the January 6th riot, and they want for you to believe that things were never going to get better. If you're a Democrat voter, they want you possessed by Trump hatred and obsessed with punishing anyone who ever supported him. Now, why? Because if you really keep your eye on what's really happening out there, you're going to realize that Biden isn't running anything. He's barely awake.
The Bible tells us, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
And if you don't fall for their shiny object shtick, you're also going to see that his team is populated by snotty, entitled, overeducated, underperforming goofballs. They're slowly but surely dismantling our economy, opening the door to an endless stream of illegal aliens, drug dealers, and gang members. The New York Times and Washington Post shockingly admitted over the weekend that Biden's presidency is about to get slammed by thousands upon thousands of families and unaccompanied minors, all illegal immigrants, at the southern border. Now, if we had a Congress that was focused on protecting American jobs, safety, healthcare, and education, they would immediately tighten asylum laws. Remember, Trump's common sense policy required that applicants from Central America who want to seek asylum in our country, they had to pass through, Mexico on the way. They had to declare it there, not after illegally crossing our border. But last week, Biden did away with that. And that's not the only thing. He's going to effectively dismantle our entire immigration enforcement.
There's some new reporting that ICE is going to get some new guidance to no longer focus on deporting illegal immigrants who have been convicted of DUI, simple assault, solicitation, drug-based crimes. And I'm curious how that is in the interest of public safety.
Nobody is saying that DUIs or assault are acceptable behavior, and those arrested for such activity should be tried and sentenced as appropriate by local law enforcement. But we're talking about the prioritization of who is going to be deported from the country.
Yeah, they're just inconvenience. Let the local law enforcement deal with it, keep it welcoming more. Now think about this. At a time when we're seeing more crime, fewer jobs, and millions of kids stuck in Zoom hell and not in school, Biden's team focuses on shielding illegals from deportation because he doesn't want to put them through too much stress. Yes, they have to tell the truth on government forms, but if they lie, no problem. The new ruling from USCIS essentially locks in President Biden's wishes to end the deportation of illegals, even if they are caught lying about their applications for U.S. taxpayer-funded services, a green card, or asylum. Now, if that's not enough to make your blood boil, the Washington Post adds that ICE agents seeking to arrest fugitives outside of jails and prisons will need prior approval from the agency's director in Washington. Gang tattoos or records showing loose affiliation with gang activity would also not meet the narrower criteria. Folks, this is one big Bienvenidos MS-13, a billboard flashing, might as well be, across Central America and beyond. Biden's open borders zealots have what they want. Big business, they get their slave labor, and the social justice warriors, the far left squad types, they have their new population that can be molded and formed into Socialist Party faithful. Eventually, they hope to swamp the voting power of all of you Americans out there who still know the country's traditions, Constitution, and history. And heck, you may not have stayed in a hotel in the past year, but illegals arriving since Biden's inauguration, they get to stay free of charge. San Diego arranged housing for hundreds of arriving migrants in a downtown high-rise hotel where they're being quarantined before being allowed to join family or friends in the interior of the United States. It sounds so pleasant. Can you believe that at a time when our own people are suffering? Now that takes us back to tomorrow's Barnum and Bailey revival in the Senate. Democrats are arguing that Trump welcomed and incited a violent incursion into the Capitol, when it is they who are enticing illegals to bust through our borders, exploit our resources, and commit crimes. And we're not talking about a few hundred. We're talking hundreds of thousands, eventually millions, if the Democrats have their way. There is an insurrection taking place against America, all right. It's been going on for years in the deepest depth of the D.C. swamp. And now its figurehead resides at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This insurrection seeks to overthrow everything we love about America by defaming it, silencing it, and even prosecuting it. This is an organized mob funded by billionaires, it's supported by celebrities, and it's aided and abetted by propagandistic news organizations every single step of the way. These insurrectionists have stormed our schools with BLM indoctrinators. They shuttered our classrooms by empowering union heavies. They've overwhelmed small businesses with idiotic, stupid lockdowns. They've robbed Americans of good-paying oil and gas jobs with obscene climate change dictates. They've ripped down historical markers from Washington to Lincoln. They've terrorized patriotic Americans who are now afraid to just speak their minds. They've burned police precincts. They've taken over entire city blocks. And not just for a few hours, by the way, but for weeks. And as in Portland, months. So as they dangle their shimmery impeachment bauble in front of you this week, we will methodically and relentlessly expose their real aims. And also, we'll expose those providing aid and comfort. Soon, America will see who the real threat to democracy is and how the good guys, once again, can prevail.
Laura Ingraham. Absolutely right. Every last bit of it. Because Laura Ingraham, unlike the mooks on your mainstream media channels, you know who they are, she does show prep. She knows what's going on. She sees through the hype and the bull crap and gets to the meat of the issue. And that's where we are now. 11 o'clock, back with more after the top of the hour. Please come back, stick around. Thank you for being here. I'm John James.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan. The second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump gets underway early this afternoon with a debate over whether the impeachment should even be happening. ABC Chief Washington Correspondent Jonathan Karl.
The Trump legal team intends to focus primarily on the argument of constitutionality, making the case that it is simply not constitutional to have an impeachment trial of somebody who is no longer in office, that the whole process of impeachment and trial in the Senate is about removing somebody from office. And of course, Donald Trump was removed from office by the calendar when his term was up on January 20th.
The House impeachment managers begin making their case in earnest tomorrow. Then the president's legal team will begin making its case that his language is protected by the Constitution. The NTSB says the pilot of the helicopter that crashed last year, killing 9 people, including Kobe Bryant, likely became disoriented while flying through clouds. The helicopter hit a hillside. This is ABC News. A child kidnapped in Louisiana is safe thanks to the sharp eyes and quick thinking of a couple of garbage men out on their normal run. Brandon Antoine was in the truck with Dion Merrick.
And he was like, you notice what I just seen? And I was like, what's that? He was like, man, that looked like that silver Nissan that they say that he seen on the Amber Alert.
And it was that car. So Dion put his truck right at the end of the driveway, blocking the car. They called 911. Seconds later, police were on the scene. One suspect, a 33-year-old convicted sex offender, is under arrest. The girl is safe. Protesters in Myanmar, upset about the military coup there, are again facing water cannons and warning shots fired over their heads. The protesters have been gathering in defiance of rules against large gatherings. Some supporters of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny are trying a new tactic to avoid being arrested. They're now calling for mass protests at all residential courtyards. They want the protest to last just 15 minutes. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
O'Reilly. This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Good morning. It's 11:04. I'm John James. This is Legacy 1160 WSKW. Freedom's Pep Rally is powered by the Gun Shop on Coney Circle in Augusta. Go and see my friends, Crystal and Adam and Garrett and Cody. And see what they got. They are so well stocked. They've got guns. They've got ammo. Yes, I seen it with my own eyes. It's been a little over a week since I was in there, but given the ammo shortage we've seen and hear about, I would say you get it where you can get it, when you can get it, and you can get it there, or at least you could, and you certainly can get firearms there. And again, the firearms background checks, the NICS checks, National Instant Check System, has been overwhelmed. I mean, they're handling it okay, but they have record numbers of background checks going month after month, which is great news for gun owners and for the Second Amendment. And many of these people are first-time gun owners. Welcome. Welcome to America. Welcome to the club, I guess. Not a club, really. It's America. It's an American right, which they're trying to take away. And trust me, they just haven't had time to focus on it. Joe Biden says he's going to, though. He has made it clear that gun control is something he and Comey are ready to focus on. Biden won't have much say in it. Biden is just, he's directionless, another rudderless being being directed by Commie and Susan Rice and all the rest of the gun control addicts who want to do away with the Second Amendment one gun at a time. And they will if they can, if we let them. And we aren't going to let them, are we? No. No. That would be the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back right there if they try to destroy our Second Amendment. Oh, have you have you heard about the latest reason COVID-19? So maybe it wasn't China's fault. Maybe it had nothing to do with Xi Jinping, Dr. Tedros, WHO, and the misinformation from the United States and Chinese communist governments. Maybe it had nothing to do with any of that. Maybe it wasn't created in a lab. Maybe it was climate change caused it. See, here I go, sounding stupid again. Human caused, this is a thing. Human caused climate change may have played a key role in the coronavirus pandemic. That's the conclusion of a new study which examined how changes in climate have transformed the forests of Southeast Asia, resulting in an explosion of bat species. Okay, so you can't win with these people. You cannot win with the climate change bunch, with the hoaxsters, the pranksters out there. Can't win with them. You know, you're either making animals extinct because of climate change, or we're making more species of animals because of climate change, and now they're causing all kinds of turmoil and yeah, I know, right? Oh, Lord. Is right. Yeah, I'm not making this up. The researchers found that due to changes in vegetation over the past 100 years, an additional 40 species of bats have moved into the region, carrying with them 100 more types of bat-borne coronaviruses. Bats are known carriers of coronaviruses, with various species carrying thousands of different types. Many scientists believe the virus that started the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic originated in bats in southern China's Yunnan province or neighboring areas before it crossed paths with humans. These findings have scientists concerned about the probability that climate change will make future pandemics more likely. You know, it baffles me how people who are seemingly so smart, I mean, look how far we've come. Look how far we came in the 20th century with medical miracles, with vaccines, with cures for this and that. No cure for cancer, unfortunately. But you know what? We deal with it. We know certain things cause cancer. We know smoking causes cancer. We know certain foods cause cancer. And there's something new every day, it seems, that causes cancer. And we know cancer can be a very, very deadly disease, but we oftentimes don't change our habits because we want to live our best lives and take our chances. Anybody who says life isn't a gamble is fooling themselves. And trying to do away with all the devices that can cause bad things to happen is a fool's errand. So now climate change is increasing the number of bat species, which is in turn increasing the number of coronavirus, which in turn will increase the number of pandemics. So now we're supposed to change our lives and our world completely. Cause and effect. Who's to say that in a few years, 10, 20 years, with no fossil fuel, get rid of all the fossil fuel except China. China doesn't have to abide by the Paris Climate Accord, at least not initially, and they'll figure a way to get out of it. Don't worry. They're the Chinese. You don't expect them to follow the rules, do you? Again, these people are fools. They're being played for fools. I don't know. I keep hearing that sound. I have no idea what that is. So we change our whole infrastructure. 10 years, we come to find out that being anywhere near these solar batteries causes all kinds of problems. Disposing of the solar batteries, which, like any battery, wears out, has to be buried. It's seeping into the well water. It's causing incurable illness. Everything is a risk. Furthermore, there is no scientific proof that man-made carbon dioxide is ruining the earth. None. They build it up like all the scientists agree. Man is destroying the earth. I think we're at somewhere around 400 parts per million CO2 right now, if memory serves. I was looking at some charts, which is negligible compared to what we've had in the past, even before the Industrial Revolution. 400 parts per million. Things are greener. Maybe that's why maybe that's why soil is more moist. Did you know that? The increase in carbon dioxide is causing the soil to be more moist, healthier. The trees, the green, with the people worry about the rainforest being destroyed because of climate change. Well, the earth is greening up just fine thanks to their food, CO2, carbon dioxide. And we're changing the world. You know what? It's going to make things worse. Growing seasons will be shorter. Well, if what they think will happen won't happen. First of all, the CO2, the change will be negligible. There will be nothing that will really change significantly. But if it was man-made climate change causing all the carbon dioxide problems and all the global warming, and they could stop it, if they could stop it, they can't because it's natural cycle, but if they could, what would that do? That would make the growing seasons shorter. That would make the green, the photosynthesis less able to occur, so the earth wouldn't be greening up like it is now if they could stop it, and they can't. It's a pie in the sky. It's a lie. It's a lie in the sky. I've got a chart. I've got a bunch of charts I got with a book, and it's in a PDF file. And I'm gonna upload it to somewhere. I'll upload it to the Legacy website and the American Women website, and I will link to it so you can look. You can look. And Jason is right. They know everything they are doing. They understand that. It's the people who follow in lockstep with them, who believe them, who believe their lies. You know the people who you believe, the people who you follow, the Joe Bidens, the Kamala Harrises, the Bernie Sanders, the Pocahontases. You know all these people you follow, thinking they are God's gift to the earth because they know how to save us? Do you realize they are laughing at you? They aren't laughing at us. They're on defense against us because they know we get them. We know what they're trying to do. You, the followers, don't. You have no idea. They're laughing at you. We fooled them. You can fool some of the people all the time. Just look at the people following us. Oh, we got them. They're sounding the mantra of climate change. They're our echo chamber. Everything we say, they repost. They get out there like a town crier. Thank God for the fools, they're saying. Meanwhile, they want to destroy conservatives who see what they're up to and sound the alarms. They don't like us. They don't like people like Donald Trump because Donald Trump knows. I'm not saying Donald Trump is the savior of the earth. Donald Trump merely came in at the right time and took control and didn't care what anybody thought and didn't back down and stood up for American freedom. We didn't realize how much American freedom had taken a hit until Donald Trump told us we, in effect, were part of the problem. We had no will to fight because we couldn't see the creeping socialism coming in. He showed us. Does that make him a god? No. That makes him a capitalist who understands what America was founded on, the principles this country was founded on. He may not be the smartest man in the world. You don't have to be book smart. I don't know how smart. He's clearly pretty intelligent when it comes to business. He's not a great speaker by any stretch of the imagination. I'll be the first to tell you that. But when he says something, he means it. And he woke us up. I'm sad to say, but we were slipping into that complacency mode where, things are great. This is America. It doesn't matter who gets elected. We'll just move on and everything. But now he shined the light on what they are really trying to do. And what that did to the left is put them in warp speed to get it done. So they are completely busted. They are completely out in the light now. Now we know what they want to do because they're saying what they want to do. They want social reform. They want us to be a socialist society. They want to usurp our freedom and have their own power take over. They are out of the closet, so to speak. And we see them. And Donald Trump is responsible for that. Maybe Donald Trump won't be back as president. Maybe he won't. So what's that mean? That means somebody else, and there are plenty of capable people out there. That's why I don't hang my hat on one man. You can't. That's a fool's errand. Oh, no, Donald Trump's not going. Oh, they kept him from running again. Okay, so worst case scenario, they get their way. They throw their temper tantrum. They get their way, unconstitutional as it is, and Donald Trump can't run again. Okay, so somebody else picks up the torch because we see what the end is. We know their means. We see it every day. It's unconstitutional. It's unfathomable. It's immoral. It's unconstitutional. But we see their means and we know their end. Control, power, and all the money and all the glory. And we are the serfs. That's their end game. They've said it. They might as well have said it. We're not stupid. The followers are. Their followers don't know whether they're foot or horseback. They have no clue. They just keep echoing whatever they're told to. They have no critical thinking skills. They are too smart for their own good, really. Too smart. They're too much groupthink. Too much, I've got to be like them. If people are going to think I'm intelligent and intellectual, I'm going to have to follow the intellectual group. Well, where's that getting you? Where's that getting us? Somebody will pick up the torch if Donald Trump can't run or doesn't run again, and they know what to do. They know what's at stake because the left has foolishly outed themselves. They had no choice. Trump called them out, starting with the fake news. Now, we always knew the left, the news was a little leftist. We didn't know how bad it was until Donald Trump. And he didn't care. He had no, he took no prisoners. He didn't care who he insulted. And they deserved insults, most of them. And they got it. And they hated it. And they became more and more left until they became nothing more or nothing less than an arm of the Democrat National Committee, which is what they are today and what they're still doing. And they've hung their hat on that. They will live and die by that mantra they have created for themselves. And once Donald Trump is no longer in the news cycle, I shudder to think how they're going to make their money, because they will have nothing compelling. What will Rachel Maddow do if she can't bitch about Donald Trump for an hour, or Al Sharpton, or Joe Scarborough, or Stephanie Rule and Ali Velshi? Once Trump is gone, they've got nothing. Oh, Joe Biden, he's our savior. That'll get old pretty quick, huh? Well, you know what, Jason? Jason says, what good is any of that if the elections are rigged? It's no good. But again, we are onto it. We know what they do. We know the game they play. We know they don't play fairly. And as long as we're a free society, there has got to be more people with cojones in there to saying you're going to play fairly. We are going to watch you like a hawk. And you can watch too. You feel free to watch too. They kept Republicans, conservatives out. They kept them away from where the ballots were being counted. They kept them away from where the machines were being fed. They did it after hours when they sent all the conservatives home. That cannot be allowed. It's no good. You're right, Jason. It's no good if there is fraud in the elections. It is up to people with a spine, with a backbone like Donald Trump's, to say, we're going to watch. Sorry, you're not going to keep us out. If I was saying during the this whole debate after the November 3rd elections, I was saying, had I been in one of these places like in pick a place, Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County, and they kept me 40 feet away when I was told I could be within 6 feet, I would have been pushing my way through there. Come arrest me. Arrest me. Try to push me. Put your hands on me, you dirty thief. Go ahead. You try it. You try it just once, and there will be hell to pay. Now, I don't know who the people were that were saying, okay, I'll stay back. But they told me I could get, no, you stay back. Oh, okay. Sorry, that's not going to be me. No, that's not going to be me. It's not going to be you either. Because you were given the authority to watch closely. You are going to take that authority to within 6 feet or however close they told you to get, and you are going to watch like a hawk. And they will get away with nothing. And one of the things we've got to do is get rid of this universal mail-in voting. Bad, horrible, fraudulent. That's got to be done away with. In that sense, Jason, you're right. If we can't get rid of that, we are screwed. That is so rife with fraud, it's not even a question. Not even a question. This crap they pulled during the election should never have happened. Can never happen again. And something has to, and you know what they're going to do. You know, while Biden's in the White House, they're going to do everything they can to give Democrats every opportunity to rig an election, to win every election, up to and including trying to get D.C. statehood, which I can't believe that's going to be constitutional because D.C. was created as a seat of government. Oh, Mayor Muriel Bowser thinks she's going to segregate the Capitol buildings and the Capitol District from the rest of the area just so she can get 2 more Senate seats and be the ruler. By the way, she is as power hungry as all the rest of the left. Muriel Bowser. But these people have got to be stopped. We get 2 more states, that's 4 more senators, 4 more Democrat senators. No, you're right. You're right to worry about that, Jason. This all needs to be addressed, and we're in a hard place right now because there was. Again, watch the video. Watch the video. I thought another video about voter fraud. I saw the Mike Lindell thing come up, and that may be good. That may be very compelling. I don't know, but it was 2 hours long. Who has time for that? God bless him. I mean, Mike Lindell is a patriot who's now got a competitor named David. I got some new information about David Hogg's new pillow company. You're going to want to hear this. But this video that I saw yesterday, I watched it and I thought, wow. Very compelling. It's 16 minutes long. Everybody's got 16 minutes. Legacy1160.com/FPR, Freedom's Pep Rally. And all the news stories that I post there every single day, there's links to them all. And you may have to scroll down a few, but it's there, the video, election 2020. And there's a link to the video on my Vimeo site. And just watch it. 16 minutes, all it'll take. Use your own thing. Maybe you'll say, that doesn't prove anything. Okay. Well, go ahead, have your opinion. I don't care if you agree with it or not. Just look at it. I thought it was very compelling myself. And I'm not one to take a video in and say, well, that's all the proof. Like a lot of these QAnon videos, I thought a lot of them were very compelling. They're very compelling, and there was a lot of truth in a lot of them. But I thought, well, some of this stuff is questionable. So I discarded most of it, and I didn't repost any of it because it didn't feel right to me. This one, though, there was something different about this one. So David Hogg, I hadn't meant to do this story right now, but I will, seeing as it sort of came up. David Hogg wants to, for whatever reason, I don't know whether he sees it as, no, he's a man-child. He really is. David Hogg is a piece of work. He's a gun control activist, survivor of the Parkland shooting. And I'm happy that he survived. I'm happy anybody that survived. And you heard all these stories. Oh, he wasn't even there that day. That apparently he was. There are indicators that but regardless, that just never mind that. It was his school that was shot up. He became a gun control activist. He now thinks he knows everything about guns there is to know. He knows nothing. And now, either because he thinks it's a good business move and he wants to show the world he can make some big money by going up against Mike Lindell with his own pillow product, or he's just a little baby, a pissed off baby who said, well, I'm going to show that Mike Lindell that I can make a pillow and succeed too. Here's what would answer the question. And this is a good question to ask. Had Mike Lindell not come out on a political side, would David Hogg then think it was a good idea to start a pillow company? What do you think the chances of David Hogg starting a pillow company would be if Mike Lindell hadn't come out as conservative? Probably nil. I'm going to say that's just a guess. Maybe he's always had dreams. Get it? He's always had dreams of creating a pillow product. And so here's his golden opportunity. because pillows are all the rage now. So he announced a new member of the advisory board for his pillow company, competing with Mike Lindell's My Pillow Empire. I don't even know what the name of his. Maybe it's going to be the. This would be great. The Pillow Hog. The Pillow Hog. How about that? That would be great. You could have like this large. They could come in different sizes, from a single pillow size to a double bed, a twin bed, and a king size bed pillow. So you couldn't hog the pillow anymore. It would be a giant pillow. So all you'd have to do is move around, and you wouldn't take the pillow away from your partner. How that happens? It could be the Pillow Hog. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with ideas for the douche bag. Sorry, that slipped. So what do you really think of David Hogg? Okay, so he got a lot of mockery and laughter on social media when he made this announcement about his new advisory board member, not because of who the person is, but because this person checks off a box that David Hogg is clearly using to promote his new product. He announced yesterday that he'd start a pillow company. No, last Thursday he announced this. He announced Thursday he'd start a pillow company. Now, I think it was yesterday, he announced his first hire for his pillow company, LGBTQ activist Brandon Wolf. I'm thrilled to announce the addition of Brandon Wolf to the pillow company's activist, and here's what he said, activist advisory board. So he made sure to use those letters in his favor. So tell me he wasn't trying to check a box. Does this guy have any business experience? Is he like a wizard when it comes to pillows, or doing the books or making money? I don't know. Maybe Brandon Wolf is. But he said, I'm thrilled to announce the addition of Brandon Wolf to the pillow companies. Maybe that's it, the pillow company. Maybe that's it. It's capitalized here. To the pillow company's activist advisory board. Brandon has years of experience in organizing for gun violence prevention, LGBTQ rights, and he's also just an awesome person. Tweeted Hogg. So he made sure to get the words activist and LGBTQ into his tweet. Maybe that'll sell pillows. I don't know. Have to wait and see. He's going for broke on this one. I know this is such a fool. This has been so full of foolishness, this show. But it's all truth. I bring you truth. Don't shoot the messenger. Well, David Hogg wouldn't, because he doesn't believe in guns. 11:34. I've got a piece of audio I want to get to from Mark Levin here, and it's kind of long, so I'm going to take a break right now, and we'll be back. Stick around. A lot of great stuff still to come. I'm John James.
WSKW, AM 1160.
Townline Antiques wants to know, what are you shopping for today? Searching for furniture to add to your home? Townline Antiques has beautiful pieces of furniture for every room, built to last with quality materials from the past. Thinking of decorating in a classic style? You'll find enchanting home decor, artwork, glassware, and hundreds more items around every corner. Do you collect books, comics, coins, sports memorabilia, watches, or classic electronics? Townline Antiques has cool, rare, and one-of-a-kind items to add to your collection that you won't find anywhere else. If you love searching through the treasures of the past, here's more great news. Townline Antiques has expanded with extra booth space. Now there are even more quality antiques to browse every time you visit. Plus, there are a limited number of dealer spaces now available. If you'd like to learn more about selling at Townline Antiques, just stop in. Townline Antiques, open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 to 5, Route 201, right on the Winslow-Vassaboro Town Line.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business. I had the demeanor and I had the willpower and the want.
Our trade is constantly changing and there's always new challenges that arise.
I definitely feel like an owner. It's very exciting.
When you like what you do, you like your job, you like the people you work with, what else could you ask for?
Bring your skills to Moody's and build a long-term future with us.
Sales and service by a family who cares. Whittemore & Sons, Whittemore & Sons.
There are some things you can simply never depend on, like buying grapes at the grocery store. Will this bag be sweet? Will it be sour? Who knows? They look the same. But know that you can always count on Whittemore & Sons in our line of Coyote tractors. Coyote tractors are machines made to work, whether it's mowing, tilling, digging, lifting, or hauling. Check out the full line of tough and versatile Coyote tractors, attachments, implements, and accessories at Whittemore & Sons, your Coyote tractor dealer, with dependable sales in service for over 50 years. Run ahead of the pack with a Coyote tractor from Whittemore & Sons on the Waterville Road in Skowhegan. Sales and service by a family who cares.
From work to fun, we'll help you get it done. Whittemore & Sons. Outdoor power equipment.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Chance for some light snow showers early this morning. A steadier snow rise mid to late morning and last through the afternoon. Most areas are looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. Higher amounts possible through southern New Hampshire. Highs today will be in the mid-20s. Partly to mostly sunny Wednesday through the end of the week, but staying cold with highs in the 20s.
Your pep rally for freedom is back. Powered by the Gun Shop in Augusta on Coney Circle. Now, here's John James.
Hi. Oh, welcome back to the show, to your pep rally. Hope we're getting you pepped up. I hope. 621-975-9207-441-6969. If you called and I didn't get to it, I'm sorry. I know I missed a couple, at least. But I do keep looking. It auto answers. So just because it picks up doesn't mean I'm seeing it. And I don't want you to think, well, he picked it up. Now he's not talking to me. No, it auto answers. Like, I think it's one ring in it. Then you hear what's going on the radio, and I don't necessarily see the thing. So, just to let you know. 1138 on Legacy 1160. And the impeachment is really overshadowing Joe Biden's horrible start. And he is off to a horrible start. He's taken away via executive order all the good things Donald Trump did for the country in his 4 years. And Trump did it all while he had to play defense against the feckless Democrats, Schumer, Pelosi, Schiff, Nadler, Swalwell, all the rest of them. He was always continuously on defense. Never a day went by that they weren't litigating or mandating or lying. Not a single day was that man left alone. By the way, he lost half his wealth. Did you know that? Read that news story the other day. And that's what I told you. I said, he's lost half his business in his companies because he's been president. Taking no pay for that, by the way. On Hannity last week, Mark Levin was a guest. Now, I listened to this thing, and I've got to tell you, I could never even hope for a better summation of what the Biden administration is doing and has done so far. Simply an amazing overview. Mark Levin knows the Constitution. He brilliantly juxtapositions it against the unconstitutional orders King Halfwit is pronouncing on America, including but not limited to stopping the Keystone XL pipeline, allowing biological girls to play in boys' sports, wanting to make D.C. a state, and more. This is great. This is candy for the ears. The great one, Mark Levin.
As I watch Biden sign these executive orders like Benito Mussolini handing out declarations, and I listen to Chuck Schumer, the Democrats in the Congress, we have two problems going on here. First of all, we have a monarch in the White House, and we have a mobocracy in the Congress, neither of which want to follow the Constitution. I'll give you some examples. I started to make a list. Packing the Supreme Court, and Schumer talked to Rachel Maddow about wanting to expand all the courts. Clearly a violation of separation of powers. They're trying to have an ideological court system that violates separation of powers. This is Article 1 attacking Article 3. The federalization of state election laws in this H.R. 1 that Nancy Pelosi's been pushing to turn the states into California so they can never lose an election, the Democrats, that violates Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the Constitution. You can't do that by statute. You need to amend the Constitution. They talk about D.C. statehood like they could just pass a statute. The District of Columbia is created by the Constitution as national capital area. It's not to be put under a state. That's Article 1, Section 8. So they're not free to do that. This outrageous so-called impeachment trial in the Senate has no authority, no jurisdiction, whatever. It is absolutely rogue. It's a complete clown show. The Constitution's clear, Article 1, Section 3, conviction of somebody who's in office, removal from office, and disqualification from future office. It's not like the Democrats are literate when it comes to the Constitution, but I guess we're going to hear them yammer on and on about it. A bill of attainder is unconstitutional. Article 1, Section 9, Clause 3. What's that? Congress is not free to pass punitive legislation to punish or penalize somebody encroaching on the judicial function, especially without a real trial. That is what they're doing if they try and use the 14th Amendment against President Trump. What else? Schumer wants to get rid of Citizens United. Citizens United allows advocacy during elections, free speech. So they want to attack the First Amendment in free speech. The Second Amendment, they want to regulate and use executive orders to destroy the Second Amendment. These are the Bill of Rights. Biden's over 40 executive orders and actions, violates separation of powers. We don't have a president who dresses up legislation as an executive order and sits there like he's some nursing home guy. I just signed this one. I just signed this one. And then he doesn't take any questions. So that's Article 2, the presidency attacking Article 1, the Congress. But the Democrats don't much mind because they like what he's doing. This executive order on Keystone XL pipeline, we have an amendment, the Fifth Amendment. It's part of the Bill of Rights. It's the taking clause. You don't get to steal somebody's property without remuneration. So that's a violation of the Fifth Amendment. We have the Equal Protection Clause in the Fifth Amendment that applies to the feds, the 14th Amendment that applies to the states, Equal Protection Clause. He signs an executive order that promotes race-based discrimination throughout the federal departments and agencies, clearly in violation of equal protection. He assigns another executive order destroying women's sports in this country for biological females. Again, violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 5th and 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Now, what has he done apart from this? Biden and his party are bought and paid for by the teachers' unions. That's why he opposes the number one civil rights issue that President Trump was pushing, school choice. These kids that can't afford private and parochial schools, they can't get out. They are stuck. So he's bought and paid for, as the Democrat Party is, by the teachers' unions, and they choose them over your kids, America. Biden and his party are using COVID-19 to give hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to blue states, blue cities, special interests, their constituent groups, having nothing to do with the pandemic. $1 trillion already sits there that hasn't been spent, and he wants another $2 trillion for starters. Biden killed thousands of American jobs, hardworking, middle-class American jobs, while opening the borders to illegal aliens. God knows how many numbers of illegal aliens. Biden has royally screwed up the production and distribution of vaccines developed by President Trump and his administration. They don't know what to do. He's never known what to do. There's not a single one of the people in his inner circle that's ever worked in the private sector doing anything productive. They don't know what they're doing. Biden's foreign policy and national security teams are laced with individuals who despise the state of Israel and slobber all over communist China and that genocidal regime in Iran. Now, while we're at it, he has enough time to make sure that who's appointed to head the criminal division? Ex-colleague of Hunter Biden's lawyer. He's got to take care of the family. But I want to talk quickly about Chuck Schumer. You mentioned it. He threatened 2 U.S. Supreme Court justices. He threatened the Supreme Court. He assembled a mob on the stairs of the Supreme Court that tried to break into the Supreme Court, but for that 13-foot bronze door there. And he warned those justices that they are, in fact, in for hell if they don't vote the way he wants. He threatened the Supreme Court. He used the Kavanaugh hearings, as Molly Hemingway so brilliantly wrote, to convene a mob, to disrupt hearings. Who the hell does this clown Schumer think he is? Stomping all over the Constitution with a 50-50 vote in the Senate, trying to impose his will on the American people, on the whole country, and now going to have a rogue trial? He's the one that should be in trial, and all the other reprobates that have for decades been threatening the American people and making outrageous comments to try and stir up and create frenzies among their own base. That's how lousy the Biden administration has been in 15 days. 15 damn days. That's it.
Yeah. That's my man right there, boy. The passion oozes from that guy. The great one, Mark Levin. Now, if you're wondering what he meant, I'm sure you've heard it. When he said Chuck Schumer should be on trial for his inciting violence, for his threats, here it is.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
There you go. There's your incitement, and I'm sure that's going to be part of the video montage the defense presents during the impeachment trial. And you know what? Good for Trump. Good for America. I think they're afraid of this. I really think they are afraid of this, and they should be. They should be. 11:49. Impeachment asserts domestic terror from Donald Trump and Trump supporters. Who do they ignore? They ignore Antifa. They ignore BLM. While Democrats and never-Trumpers are calling for a conviction on completely fabricated grounds, they call the people who attacked the Capitol on the 6th of January and prompted the impeachment domestic terrorists. They've even put up a perimeter wall with razor wire to keep domestic terrorists out while stopping construction of our southern border wall. It's a show. It's a Broadway production. It's meant to convey that Trump and his supporters are dangerous. More dangerous than Antifa. Do you know anyone on the left who has gone to another country because they're afraid of Trump supporters? No, me either. What about Antifa? Have you heard of Andy Ngo? Andy Ngo is a journalist. He wrote a book about Antifa called Unmasked: Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy. Andy Ngo is from Portland, Oregon, the epicenter of the ironically fascist Antifa movement. And now, due to death threats, he's had to leave the country. Here's what Andy Ngo told Sky News about the book that he wrote on Antifa?
The book is an expose on Antifa's ideology, history, and most crucially, how they organize, how they get funding. And it also chronicles the events of 2020. My hometown, Portland, Oregon, is the epicenter of American Antifa, and it was there that for more than 120 days they rioted night after night. So for all the politicians on the left who have been condemning what happened on the 6th of January in the Capitol Hill, which should be condemned, they were at best silent last year when my city was literally under siege, and at worst they actually promoted some of the crowdfunding campaigns to get some of these accused rioters back out on the streets.
And it's still under siege. Yeah, Kamala Harris is responsible for getting some of them back out on the streets. Is that inciting violence, Kamala? Kami? So the fascists, known as Antifa, have told Andy no, they will kill him. So he's left the country.
Yeah, for a number of months now, there's just been increasing threats of violence against me, promises by Antifa extremists to kill me, and all of those threats were reported to authorities. And even when I provided names of some of the suspects, nothing was done. So it's pained me a lot to temporarily having to leave the country and home that settled my parents, who came there as political refugees.
How sad is this? How crucial is this moment? The mob is literally winning and destroying the soul and safety of our country, and the left. It's very telling. The left looks the other way. And by the way, they are not big friends of the left either, but they align with their ideology a lot more than the conservative Trump supporters do. They don't. Antifa does not like the Democrats. They attacked Ted Wheeler at a restaurant, the mayor of Portland, after he stood out and stood up with them. Power, go! Go, Antifa! They attacked him after that. They attacked his apartment building. He had to move. But they align more with his ideology than they do with the Republicans. So the left is all on board with letting Antifa and Black Lives Matter have their way in the streets. I'm talking about Black Lives Matter Incorporated. I'm talking about the incorporated movement that has not saved, that has taken more black lives than it has saved. So interesting, isn't it? How that piece was from Sky News. Isn't it interesting? For honest news, we have to go to other countries who are objective when it comes to what's going on here in America. CNN and MSNBC, liars, dangerous, treasonous. But they're also above the law because they themselves are part of the mob. Now, in closing here, I just want to go through this. I found this on Populist Press, and I guess it was a GIF or a JPEG or something, but it was a comparison. And it says, your outrage is manufactured. Perhaps I'll post it later today if I think of it on my Facebook and at Legacy. Now, left-wing Antifa and Black Lives Matter extremists marched through D.C. on Saturday as part of the D.C. Queer and Trans Black History Month March and Rally. Let me say what it was called again. The D.C. Queer and Trans Black History Month March and Rally began at 2 p.m. but wound up lasting all afternoon and night, eventually devolving into the extremists walking down through residential neighborhoods while chanting, "If we don't get it, burn it down." In fact, here is some of the chant for you. This is them marching through the streets of D.C. So let's look at how this past year's nationwide riots have been treated compared to just the single day on the Capitol on January 6th. Let's look at the differences. This is called Your Outrage is Manufactured, and this really makes the point. Okay, let's first start by differentiating the two riots. I think we can agree they're riots. There were the BLM riots, which was left-wing violence, and Capitol riot, which was mostly right-wing violence. We'll say, for the ease of going through this. So BLM riots lasted 7 days. BLM riots lasted 7 months. Capitol riots lasted several hours. BLM riots condemned mostly by Republicans. Capitol riot condemned by all Republicans and Democrats. BLM leftist riots encouraged by media and politicians. Capitol riot encouraged only by fringe political groups. BLM's left-wing riots, police force used. Same with the Capitol riot. BLM left-wing riots, 23 plus people shot dead. Capitol riot, 1 person shot dead. BLM riots, 700 officers injured. Capitol riot, 14 officers injured. BLM riots, 150 plus federal buildings damaged. Capitol riot, 1 federal building damaged. BLM riots, hundreds of small businesses destroyed. Capitol riot, no small businesses destroyed. BLM riots, no outrage. Capitol riot, nationwide outrage. Who is the party of rage? Well, I think that sums it up, doesn't it? By the way, the one police officer who died in the Capitol riot, turns out he was not hit in the head. He did not die from blunt force trauma. He was not hit in the head with a fire extinguisher, at least not enough to kill him. What happened? Sad. We don't know. But they were quick to get that story. Oh, one of the Trump supporters smacked him with a fire extinguisher, killed him. It's devastating that he died. What's troubling is that the left would use that as a reason to say, see, the right wing kills too. The right wing, they're cop killers. No, wait, just wait. So that's all I got. We're running up against the clock. So wow, boy, are we ever. Hold on. Okay. Had to do something real quick, and I think we're good. So it's 11:59. I will see you tomorrow, or you will see me if you're on video, and I will hopefully hear you, see you. I'll see your text. I appreciate your time. Progressive Puppets. Yeah, poor Andy No is right. Had to leave the country because of Antifa, because of the anti-fascists. They're little kids. They don't know big words like fascist. They consider themselves anti-fascist. I can't make any sense of it. I will no longer try. I will just be I'll be the mouthpiece. I will be your conduit for all the idiocy going on, and I will bring you truth. That's all I can do as a friend. I'm not a news guy. I'm not a politician. I have no skin in the game, except for I'm an American, and I want America to succeed. I want us to continue to be the freest and fairest place on the face of the globe. But you and I are no different. I just spend my day going through this crap and trying to get you what I think you ought to know. And I'm glad you're here to listen to it. I appreciate it. I do hope you share and let people know that, we are speaking here and doing the best we can. And that's all we can do at this point. See you tomorrow morning at 9. Mike Violette back here tomorrow morning at 6. Have a great afternoon. I'm John James.
1160 WSKW.
What's important here at Moody's is we have a lot of opportunity for upward mobility.
Moody's definitely helped me through. They sent me to school. I got my degree in business.